change with special reference to efficient water management. Now this is very important because the last few comments that we were talking about rainwater harvesting and using micro irrigation systems and so on has to be really thought because we are in for long-term droughts as well as long-term floods in the coming months. So it's all about efficient water management, so policy recommendations are needed there. The second point is the significance of adopting, not adapting. I'm talking about adoption of climate adaptive farming practices based on recommendations provided by extension services and service providers and so on. Here what I meant was that we know a lot of new technological innovations are there which can be used for climate mitigation. You know, we are talking about micro irrigation and different farming mixtures, as well even reducing harvest losses and so on. But where we found that in the adaptation techniques that were used, very few technological adoptions have been used by the farmers, very few. Obviously, there are implications as far as availability of finances and so on. So these are things that have to be looked into because very much importance of adopting new technology is absolutely essential if we are going into a regime of climate change in the future. The third aspect is the necessity for policy adjustments and enhancements to promote efficient agricultural marketing, including pricing systems, because we are a risk-aversive society. Farmers are more risk-aversive than the normal public for that matter. So nobody is going to take any risk by changing their cropping pattern or cropping mix or any technology unless he or she is assured of a market and a price and so on. So this is an area that has to be looked into where we have been neglecting and we are always complaining prices are high, things are not available, people are starving and so on and so forth. So marketing and pricing is an important aspect that has to be considered if you are talking about climate mitigation as well. On the household food security, I have just noted one point. Noted the importance of involving a discussion of existing policy interventions targeting women and child nutrition coupled with a consideration of the urgent need for potential policy adjustments to enhance the effectiveness. Because we always talk about there's funding from the government for children's food in the education system and so on and so forth. But this is a serious issue as far as nutrition is concerned. We heard from the doctor that not only malnutrition but obesity is also there. So that's a huge thing. And also one good thing that I learned from here was we always say do some home gardening, and it's all about planting some chilies. And it's not the most nutritious vegetable, I believe. So I think this is another thing that we have to think when we talk about home gardening, what should be in the home garden. It's not about a couple of chilies here and there, a couple of tomatoes here and there and so on. That is what is happening, but that is not absolutely contribute to the nutritional problems of our children and so on. That's one point. So on the impact on women and children, I just noted a couple of points. Noted the importance of access to knowledge and opportunities for women for skills development. So it was very much noted by Ms. Madhavi also, that although macro indicators show that women are much better off than men as far as education levels are concerned, as well as some of the health indicators are, but when you really dig into them, their contribution is much lower, which should be higher if their skills development and access to knowledge is there to them. So this is one area that we have to think because our social structure is very, very, what shall I say, bound, if I may call it. How can we release out of this, get released out of this social structure and get women also involved very much in skills as well as contributing to the economy. The last factor is the need for policy adjustments and enhancement for proper designing and implementation of gender-sensitive and child-centric climate action. This is what we heard from that lady, Ms. Jaiman, I think, who also said that, we need more analysis and see that gender-sensitive policies are looked into very in-depth, if I may call it, just without saying that, okay, women also should be considered, that kind of word is not good enough, that it should be focused and so on and so forth. So I think those are the little take-home points that I took from this seminar. I hope that will be useful. Thank you very much.